Hi everyone, my name is Whitney and I'm a registered dental hygienist here to talk about teeth whitening. Because between TikTok hacks, purple toothpaste, and instant whitening tooth paint, it's easy to wonder what actually works. So let's break it down with some science. The only proven ingredient that actually whitens teeth is peroxide. Things like hydrogen peroxide and carbamide peroxide. Carbamide peroxide actually breaks down into hydrogen peroxide, so really, it's the hydrogen peroxide doing the whitening in both cases. Here's the catch though. The percentages aren't equal. Carbamide peroxide is about 1/3 hydrogen peroxide. So, for example, a gel with 6% hydrogen peroxide is roughly the same strength as 18% carbamide peroxide. 10% hydrogen peroxide, that's about 30% carbamide peroxide. They'll give you similar whitening results. The only difference is that carbamide peroxide works a little slower and stays active longer. Anyway, peroxide, that's the active ingredient that truly changes the natural color of your teeth. Everything else, marketing. Now, when you're using peroxide-based whitening strips, trays, or gels, here's what's really happening. Hydrogen peroxide whitens teeth by oxidizing the color-causing molecules inside your tooth. It breaks apart their chemical bonds, specifically the ones that create darker pigments. So those molecules no longer absorb light. That's real whitening. Whitening your teeth from the inside out, making them appear shades whiter, versus just removing external stain from the top of your teeth, which we'll talk more about next. Let's clear something up. Like I just mentioned, whitening doesn't mean scrubbing your stains off. It doesn't coat your teeth with white pigment, and it doesn't rebuild enamel. Peroxide works through oxidation, not abrasion or covering. That's why products without peroxide don't truly whiten, even if they may make your teeth look cleaner temporarily. Now, with most of those peroxide-free TikTok trends, they rely on acidic or abrasive formulas. So they might make your teeth appear cleaner short term, but they don't actually whiten long term, meaning over time, they can actually damage enamel. In addition, when your enamel thins or erodes, your teeth can actually look more yellow, not less. This is because if you're using something super abrasive like charcoal, it's actually etching away layer upon layer after layer of your enamel. And once all your enamel is removed, which has a naturally white tint, then the next layer below is dentin, which has a naturally yellow tint. So once you brush away all the white layers of enamel, you'll actually expose the yellow layer of dentin underneath. And the famous purple toothpaste trend, it's just a color. So the idea is that purple neutralizes yellow tones visually, kind of like purple shampoo for blonde hair. However, hair is very different than teeth. Hair undergoes a chemical reaction with the purple shampoo, whereas when you use purple toothpaste, it just washes away immediately with your spit, the saliva in your mouth. Anyway, purple toothpaste may make teeth look temporarily brighter, but it doesn't remove stains or change tooth color at the molecular level. In other words, it's more like makeup, not like chemistry. And it's a very short-term waste of money type makeup. Overall, there are two types of whitening. Extrinsic, which removes surface stains on top of the teeth, usually using abrasives or polishing, such as with toothpaste or dental cleanings. Not everyone considers this actual whitening. I don't, since it's not changing anything inside of your tooth, only the outside parts. And then there's intrinsic. This is the one which chemically changes the color inside of the tooth. This would be your whitening strips, trays, gels, or in-office whitening, all with peroxide. And decades of clinical studies confirm it. Hydrogen peroxide and carbamide peroxide are both safe and effective whitening ingredients when used properly. How well they work depends on peroxide concentration, the percentage of peroxide in the product, contact time, how long you keep them on your teeth, always follow the label directions, frequency of use, how often you whiten depending on your lifestyle factors, and your natural enamel and dentin shade. Some people have thinner or thicker enamel and different shades of natural white. Let's bust some myths really quick. We already mentioned purple toothpaste whitens teeth. It doesn't whiten teeth, it just color corrects temporarily. Another one is natural whiteners like charcoal or coconut oil work. There's no scientific evidence showing they change intrinsic tooth color. Whitening ruins enamel. Not true. When used correctly, peroxide whitening doesn't damage enamel. Any sensitivity or dryness you feel is temporary and goes away once your teeth rehydrate. Can you overdo it by putting strips on your teeth every single day for months and months? Of course. So always follow the label directions and talk with your dentist and/or dental hygienist about how many times a year you can safely whiten your personal teeth. To recap, only hydrogen peroxide and carbamide peroxide actually whiten teeth. They work by oxidizing chromogenic molecules, breaking chemical bonds that cause discoloration. Peroxide-free or natural whiteners might polish, but they don't whiten. Always follow directions and give your enamel recovery time between sessions. So yes, peroxide is where the science is. And if you're curious about the whitening products I personally use and recommend, they're all linked below. This is not a mega pitch. I'm just sharing products that I use and trust, and some do have affiliate links attached. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, I'll see you on Instagram @TeethTalkGirl. Peace, love, and teeth.